Hello and welcome back, dear student, in the third lecture of a very interesting topic, solution. So, in the last lecture, we have completed the three types of a solution depending on the capacity of a solution to dissolve a solute. Saturated solution, unsaturated solution and a supersaturated solution. Then next, here in this module we are going to start with solubility, and then we have seen what are the factors affecting on the solubility. So first of all, start with the what is mean by solubility, and for that again here we have considered a beaker, and in that here we have taken a 1 liter solvent. Here we have taken a 1 liter solvent, that is 1 liter water, and if we add some amount of solute, that means a solid solute. For example, again if we add a sugar in that 1 liter water, then it dissolved in it. The sugar molecules, they are dissolved in a water. Suppose here first we add 100 gram of sugar in that 1 liter water, then it gets dissolved in it. The dissolution of that solute is taking place in that 1 liter solvent water, and it forms a solution. Again if we add 100 gram of sugar in it, again the dissolution takes place, because as we know, as we see in our last lecture, the capacity of solvent to dissolve a solute is how many? It is near about, we consider it is near about 300 gram. And if we add these 300 gram solvent to this 1 liter solvent or 300 gram of a solute in this 1 liter solvent water, then all these 300 gram of a solute, it get dissolved completely in this given amount of this solvent, and they form a saturated solution. They form a saturated solution. Then what is mean by solubility here? Solubility is a maximum concentration of a solute dissolved in its saturated solution. What is mean by solubility? Solubility means the maximum concentration of the solute in its saturated solution. Because the solution formed is which type of a solution? From our previous lecture, it forms a saturated solution, because the capacity of a solution to dissolve a solute is how many? It is, we have to consider, it is a 300 gram of a solute dissolved in this given amount of a 1 liter solvent, then it forms a saturated solution. Then what is mean by solubility? Solubility is the maximum concentration of a solute. Maximum, this is the concentration, this is the amount of a solute, the maximum concentration of the solute in its saturated solution. What is mean by solubility? Solubility means the maximum concentration of solute in its saturated solution is called as a solubility of that solution. Is called as a solubility of that solution. As we know, the concentration of the solution is expressed by using some ways from our 11th standard topic, some analytical concept. or from the analytical chemistry, from the second topic of our 11th standard, we have studied some concentration terms. How the concentration of the solution is expressed. The concentration of the solution is expressed by using the first term is called as a percentage by mass. Then the second one is percentage by volume. Then the third one is molarity. Then the fourth one is molality. The fifth one is mole fraction. And the sixth one is normality. The seventh one is ppm, parts per million. So, the concentration of the solution is expressed by using some ways. Percentage by mass, percentage by volume, molality, molarity, parts per million, mole fraction, normality, percentage mass by volume. So, these are the various ways to express the concentration of the solution. The term molarity and molality is very used in this topic to express the concentration of the solution with the mole fraction. Also, we have used some ways to express the concentration of the solution in this topic: molarity, molality and a mole fraction. So, these terms are very important in this topic to express the concentration of the solution. So, the solubility is the maximum concentration of the solute in its saturated solution. That means here we have taken a solution. That means what is the maximum concentration of the solute? Means the number of moles of a solute dissolved in given volume of the solution. A number of moles, they are having a unit mole and volume. Here we have taken 1 liter solvent and therefore the volume of a solution is in a liter, or as we know 1 liter is equal to 1 decimeter cube, and therefore the solubility is expressed in terms of mole per liter or mole per decimeter cube. Mole per liter or mole per decimeter cube. So, there are various ways to express the concentration of the solution. Here, number of moles of the solute, that means the concentration of the solute M, and we know that the N means number of moles, and that can be calculated by using various formula from our mole concept. Number of moles, which is equal to weight upon molecular weight. Number of molecules upon Avogadro's number, or number of moles, which is equal to given volume divided by molar volume, that is 22.4. So, by using any one of the way, here we have to calculate the N, and V means the volume of the solution. It is given to 1 liter, and therefore the solubility of a solution. That means the solubility of a solute is the maximum concentration of a solute in its saturated solution and is expressed in a mole per liter unit. So, this is all about the solubility. Then the next point, what are the factors affecting on the solubility? What are the factors they are affecting on the solubility? That means the given amount of a solute is dissolved in a solvent, that means the extent of which to substance dissolved in a solvent, and they varies greatly with the different factors. The given amount of a solute dissolved in a solvent and the dissolution it depends on, that means the solubility, it depends on the various factors. So what are that factors? So first, the factors affecting on the solubility is, first one is nature of solute and solvent. The second factor on which the solubility is depend on is effect of temperature, and a third factor in which the solubility depends on is the effect of pressure. So here we will see one by one. The first factor on which the solubility depends on is the nature of solute and solvent. And for that, we know, we have seen in our first lecture of this topic solution, generally according to the rule like dissolve like. According to the rule like dissolve like, a polar solute dissolved in a polar solvent and a non-polar solute dissolves in a non-polar solvent. So generally, naturally, according to the rule like dissolve like, here the polar solute dissolved in a polar solvent and a non-polar solute dissolved in a non-polar solvent. So if we add the NaCl in water, NaCl is a polar and water is also a polar molecule, and therefore the NaCl dissolved in a water according to the rule like dissolve like. And why the polar solute dissolved in a polar solvent? This is because when a solute is added to the solvent, then it forms a solution. That means when a solute is added in a solvent, then there are three types of interactions which are taking place when the solution it will be formed. When a solute is added to the solvent, then it forms a solution. But when the solute is added to the solvent, then there is a first type of interaction. It will be occur when the solution is formed is solvent interaction. Then the second type of interaction is possible when the solution is formed from the solution is solute and solvent is solute interaction. And the third type of interaction is solute solvent interaction. So when a polar solute is added to the polar solvent, then the magnitude of the solute solvent interaction or the strength of the solute solvent interaction is the same as that of the solvent solvent interaction and solute solute interactions which are taking place in that to form a solution. Why by the rule like dissolve like here? By the rule here like dissolve like, a polar solute dissolved in a polar solvent and a non-polar solute dissolved in a non-polar solvent. Because why such so? Because when any one of the solute is added in a solvent, then there are three types of interactions are possible. Solvent-solvent interaction, solute-solute interaction and solute-solvent interaction. And naturally the strength or the magnitude of solute-solvent interaction is the same as that of the solvent-solvent interaction and solute-solute interactions when the polar solute is dissolved in a polar solvent. For example, here we have a beaker, and in that beaker if we add the NaCl in H2O, then NaCl is a polar, then H2O also a polar. Here a solvent interaction means H2O, both are the polar and they are for dipole, and in that hydrogen bonding are possible in solvent molecules. NaCl means Na plus and Cl minus, they are interact with each other by the ion interactions, and NaCl and H2O, they are having a ion dipole interactions. The magnitude of all these three interactions are same, and therefore here for the solubility, the nature of solute and solvent is very important according to the rule like dissolve like. Just like this polar solute is dissolved in a polar solvent, a non-polar solute, for example a cholesterol, is dissolved in a benzene, because both they are the non-polar. Cholesterol is a solute, it is a non-polar solute, and it is dissolved in a benzene, which is a non-polar solvent. But my question is that why a sugar is dissolved in a water? Sugar is a non-polar, water is a polar, but when we add the sugar in water, then it get dissolved in a water. And why? What is the reason behind that? Because what is the formula for sugar? Sugar means the carbohydrates containing the carbon and hydrogen, and the water, it contains the HOH bond, and therefore the intermolecular hydrogen bonding is possible in that carbohydrate and the water molecule, and therefore the sugar is dissolved in a water. Sugar C12H22O11. This is the formula for sucrose. It is converted into glucose plus fructose. But the sucrose means it contains the carbon and hydrogen, and when they interact with the water, then according to the intermolecular hydrogen bonding, or due to the intermolecular hydrogen bonding, the sugar is dissolved in water. Because of the sugar is a non-polar and the water is a polar, because polar and non-polar means what? Polar means it gets separated by its two poles. Non-polars means it gets separated. It does not get separated. It is present as it is in a neutral form, and therefore further the sugar is a non-polar. It gets dissolved in a water because due to the intermolecular hydrogen bonding. So this is the first factor which affects on the solubility, that is the nature of solute and a solvent. So the second factor, effect of temperature, and the third factor, effect of pressure. That part we will see in our next module, that means a next lecture. So dear student, in today's lecture we have completed here what is mean by solubility. Solubility is the maximum concentration of a solute in its saturated solution, and it is expressed in terms of mole per dm cube. This is one of the way to express the concentration of the solution is mole per dm cube, and it is also called as a molarity. So the concentration terms, molarity and molarity, you have to study it in detail. And next to that we seen what are the factors affecting on the, or what are the factors affecting the solubility. In that we have seen a first factor, that is the nature of solute and solvent. By the rule like dissolve like, a polar solute dissolved in a polar solvent and a non-polar solute dissolved in a non-polar solvent. So, dear student, we will stop here. We will meet in the next module with the second and third factor effects on the solubility. Till then, thank you.